Hello, welcome to Master Powercast. On this week's episode, we will be discussing the most gruesome of the Snake Men warriors, Snakeface. We're kind of been hovering around here a lot lately in Wave 6. So Snakeface came out in 86, November 86, but was grouped in with the 87 wave. So he comes out a little bit earlier than everyone else, and that's just the initial release estimate. But we've been kind of hovering around here in this realm, character spotlight wise, for the last little while.
And I honestly, I feel like, and I'll continue to say this, the line was getting progressively better in my opinion. You know, but then you look at some of the stuff that was like highlighted, like the mishmash characters that Super 7 put out, like that was what Mattel was going to be putting out, like really cutting costs and just slapping parts of other figures together. Like, you know, maybe if 86 had been more profitable and then you go into 87, like that supposed next wave wouldn't have been a really cheap route of just slapping a Fisto head on this figure and slapping a Zodiac head on the Cyclone body. And, you know, just, I mean, they're fun ideas because I like them, but you could just tell like they're really cutting corners with these supposed, but it's like, man, that 87 wave, dude, like you can't sit there and say that was like, okay, this was phoning in. Like, fuck no. There's so many fan favorites in that last wave. Me personally, the entire wave, you know, I dare say it's either 84, 85, or 87 are my favorite waves. I can't say which one really, because you know, if I say 85, it's got Too Bad and Mossman and Cyclone and Moduloc, but then I say 87, you got Squeeze, Clamp Champ, Mosquito.
I think over the years, if I had to pick one for you, it's probably 87, without a doubt.
I feel like I can't go because Blade and Sword and Gwildor, the movie figures, the dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
You think about that. What was coming? You know, and I feel like I've said that so many times doing the show, but it just like leaves you heartbroken that we could have got more dinosaurs, a brand new spinoff line along with the main line. Giants, and people just said, "I'm done with him, man. I've just suffered beaten off." So,
fuckers. They're getting older. What do you expect?
But, I know. I get fucked over just when I'm starting to. Here it is. Like, where are they?
Yeah. Well, blame your mom. You should be like, why couldn't you have conceived me 3 years prior? Then we would have been golden
earlier.
Make sure you tell her that next time.
Yeah.
But here is the first concept of Snakeface, which interesting color schemes going on here with the silver and these bright yellows and like it's sort of like a that face is something else.
It kind of almost looks like a Chinese war mask of some kind, like
right.
You know, almost like you have the snakes there, but it almost looks like a dragon, like in the back, like the headpiece that kind of popped, like the head, like the top of the skull started to come out, and it has like this kind of winged snake dragon of some kind. With these other snakes.
How do you feel about the snakes coming out from his ribs?
That's like taking the concept of King Hiss, where the snakes are in the torso as well, and like making them emerge from the body, which.
I guess at that point it kind of makes it a little redundant then
it does, because with King Hiss it's just this body of this coiled up snake mess, and then having this body kind of just fold open with snakes coming out of him. Like, I'm glad we got what we got and capitalized on like the Medusa concept, as opposed to this guy that just has a head that kind of pops up like the fearsome features from Ghostbusters that would come later down the road.
Right.
And just, you know, I mean, yeah, you can clearly see this is the blueprint of what would become Snakeface, but I'm glad we didn't necessarily get this concept character.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of feels like it, even looking at him, he doesn't look, even though he's got snakes coming at him, he doesn't look like a snake man.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he looks like he could be an evil warrior. like he almost be like a comrade to Cobra Khan of some kind, but not a member of the Snake Men.
Well, you had mentioned earlier Medusa. So as we start to go through more changes, the initial concept here as a placeholder was Medusa Man from David Wolfram. So
which obviously, and without Clash of the Titans, we wouldn't have this, because Medusa up to that point was just a lady with bouncing snakes in her hair. Or if you saw, like, I think there's a Popeye cartoon with Medusa. It was just this scraggly old lady with these little thin snakes in her hair, and nothing like what Ray Harryhausen would come up with. And I feel like that's what this design is. And that decided to make it a man as opposed to an actual Medusa, or like a female character with snakes in her hair and reptilian, which they could have gone that route and just called her something else.
That would have been a lot of fun to just have that.
I agree,
that
because we had
character.
Only one female villain in the entire line with Evil-Lyn. And then you get, She-Ra and Shadow Weaver didn't show up in that, and it's just everyone you got to comb their hair. They don't look like, even when you look at those figures, they don't look like villains. So it would have been cool to have a female Snake Warrior based on the Medusa concept from Clash of the Titans. Like, don't have to have a serpentine body, just recycle the Teela Evil-Lyn body if you really wanted to, and have this brand new like color scheme in his head with these, snakes, I don't know, like an action figure where the snakes would pop out of her head, like you would raise the lever up on her back and the snakes emerge from her head, something like that.
Yeah, would have been interesting if they.
Yeah, but I love what we got. This humanoid with like this serpentine body and snakes emerging from his eye sockets, the forked tongue, or a snake in some regards. Sometimes there's a snake coming out of his mouth, and sometimes it's the forked tongue. So
yeah, here is the cross-hill.
Yeah, beautiful cross. I don't ever recall seeing him, or he didn't. I feel like, because I only had a couple of the 87 figures as a kid, and I have no memory of him at all. Just Squeeze was the only Snake Man from that wave that I had seen something of, and had no. I think it was like the Adam Tyner website when it came out, was when I actually saw what Snake Face looked like.
Yeah, this was a figure that I never saw out in the wild. I feel like for the most part, a lot of the Master Universe toy line that I would see in random bins at flea markets and yard sales were always just those first few waves of. It's much like we talked about. As we get later on into this, people stopped collecting these, which is why Snake Face, kind of expensive if you want to get a vintage one on eBay.
Oh my God, that entire wave!
Yeah,
it's pretty much like hang it up. King Randor, the Sorceress, Blade, Saurod, Gwildor. Gwildor might be the easiest. And when I say easiest, like, I don't mean like pocket change. You're still going to pay a pretty penny for Gwildor if you want one men on card too. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is to get any of that 87 wave men on card.
Yeah, well,
because they look so good with that Bruce Timm like front artwork, and then the awesome Errol McCarthy artwork on the back.
Well, just looking a quick glance on eBay. Right as of this recording, if you want him complete, and obviously the biggest thing is all the snake stuff. A lot of
because mine is missing one of the fold-out snakes on the chest. Like, that's what he's missing on mine.
If you want him complete, you're going to be spending at least 100, a little over. There is one here that I see that's in really good shape. Doesn't come with weapons or anything, but all the snake stuff seems to be in good condition. Yeah, that's a pretty decent figure. $60. And you think that's still pretty, I mean, it's reasonable, I guess, but that's still pretty expensive.
It is. But so he has no weapons. It's just Snake Face, like the body's intact with all the snakes.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's already in one cart though, so you're gonna get it now. This episode comes out weeks from now, so that'll be gone.
Yeah, Nathan may have already bought it.
No, but come to think of it, I actually do not own a vintage Snake Face.
I didn't think you did.
Yeah, so maybe I should pull it. I mean, all my vintage stuff currently is boxed up, just because the space with all the other stuff I was buying, there's no place for it, unfortunately. Maybe one day I'll set up something. And I was thinking maybe down in the basement, setting aside some space and making like a big like diorama kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we saw this when we did Blast Attack.
Yeah.
So here it is again. You can get a little Scareglow up there. Get you a Tongue Lasher and Rattler down there at the bottom. But we talked about this, I think, when we were discussing Blast Attack, just the fun stuff that they would do for the backgrounds. It's like, oh, let's take this little tinsel and put it in the back and make this. This looks like rocks. Put this here.
Yeah, and it looks like the spray painting like with piece of like a fake pine.
Yeah,
that you get for decoration around Christmas time, and make it look like it's frosted over some sort of white exotic plant found on Eternian. I mean,
just what a kick-ass job that would have been. It's like, you're going to be the guy that's going to be taking the pictures for the catalog. You get paid to do this. What ideas do you have? And it's probably all up to the photographer to come up with this shit.
Yeah, and then to them it's just like all this is styrofoam, or all this is just like, you know, we went to a local like craft store and bought the stuff at discount for like $2. And
yeah.
It's like, yeah, but you know, it made me want to buy the toys.
Yeah.
You know, and what action figures are out there that are not like throwback stuff? I can't imagine they do that for children today.
No. They don't do that.
No.
Here's the finished product. Which, as we see here, I love the little touch of the green.
Yeah, the sprays of lime green on him there. He's definitely a great mishmash of greens. I mean, we got the lime, the I guess you could almost call that like pea green. You got lime green,
emerald green.
All right, you know, I was thinking like the food, not like what you piss. You know, and then you have like the like pine green for the boots. You know, he's a very colorful figure, you know.
Yeah. But just that splash of purple.
Yeah. Yeah, the purple it's a great color scheme with the gray skin, the gray scaly skin. He just pops like just a wonderful design in colors.
So here is on card.
And that beautiful Bruce Timm's interpretation of the character right there too on that card, like,
yeah, some good stuff.
So fucking good, man.
We'll get a better look of that here momentarily. I also like too with the Snake Men having
that was always such a cool thing to me, even as a kid, having, and I love that with the Horde, they had the big Horde logo with the evil Horde around, and then like that symbol doesn't say the Snake Men, it's just the symbol with the two adjacent snakes.
Mm-hmm.
With no the Snake Man logo's on the back, but I love that these factions, you know, they all got like their own particular brand. And I love this card art, like, especially because it's Clan Champ, and the fact that Clan Champ with his heightened senses still gets snuck up on by Snakeface like that
and turned to stone. I love the look here on his face, the things coming out, and then I mean, you know, if all this shit popped out at me too, it would.
I mean, yeah.
If it didn't turn you to stone, it's gonna scare the shit out of you.
It's another one of these card arts that doesn't have like a max capacity of figures, like 12 figures. We just have 9.
Mm-hmm.
Which when you're so used to the 12, and I feel like I've said this before, I'll just say it again. It feels lacking because I'm so used to, for years, most of the cards that were not the 8-back cards from the first wave always had 12 characters on the back with cross-sell artwork of who you can get at that time. And this is all outside of Tongue Lashing King. This is all 87. Sometimes you have like a couple of leftovers from the 86 wave, but we just have 2 Snake Men, and the rest are all current roster of 87.
And I can appreciate that, because most of the time you would think that, no, we have to have He-Man on there, we have to have Skeletor on there, we have to have Man-at-Arms on there, no matter what.
And what's funny, you think about that, Beastman was one of the few from the first wave that was still that would be shown on card arts in like 84, maybe 85 would show up in cross-sell artwork. But like these, like 87, like, yeah, there was Laser Light and Laser Power, but that were not released in the States. So for America, there were no variants outside of Buzzsaw Hordak. So the 87 wave, you're not seeing He-Man and Skeletor showing up unless it happens to be like maybe Flying Fists and Terror Claws from the previous year.
Yeah.
But
here we go.
Yeah.
better look at the Bruce Timm.
Actually, I think it's Errol McCarthy's right there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Is there not? I guess there's not.
That's Bruce Timm right there.
Well, I was thinking that I was thinking image-wise, I had a better look at it there.
Yeah,
but I guess not. All right, never mind then.
Yeah, but it's I don't know, either Errol used Timm's or Timm used McCarthy's, but it's pretty much. But I like Bruce Timm's better there.
Yeah, I mean this is
it's great. You know, I still like it though.
Sorry for
what's his profile here. Another of the snake men trapped under Snake Mountain an eon ago. Snakeface was called forth by King Hiss to do battle with He-Man. Snakeface was the right-hand man to King Hiss in the days of Grayskull. Not King Grayskull, just let you people know. They were not supporting that bullshit then. Snakeface can turn any enemy to stone by lashing his snakes out of him. Hero and He-Man are the only warriors powerful enough to reverse the horrible spell, and then only when aided by the magic staff or the power sword.
Yes, there you go.
You might want to remember that here, people.
Oh yeah, because I haven't mentioned that aspect of it, and I'm not going to. We'll leave it for a surprise for all of you.
Here in just a bit. Yeah.
Watching home. Once again, Revenge of the Snake Man. We brought up this mini comic when we did Blast Attack. We're not going to flip through this one on this round either. We're going to save that for a later date or maybe a later character to be determined. But we will show you this panel here from this particular mini comic.
Which Snakeface in here, like he looks kind of like more buck looking and not like a snake man. Like he looks like almost kind of zombified man, like he's a ghoul almost, you know, which he looks cool.
He looks great.
Yeah, he looks awesome, you know.
Yeah, especially here, he looks like a ghoul.
Yeah, yeah.
There's I'm not thinking like fangs.
No fangs or anything like that. It just looks like he could have, you know, I don't know. I just feel like there's something, you know, quite fascinating about this character in general, which I never thought too much about in terms of like. Well, I mean, I have, because I know Fans of Power I've talked about like where this character could have come from, because he's a snake man, but not like a snake man in a sense like Squeeze and Tongue Lasher and Rattler are. This is a more human-like character, you know, which makes him very unique.
People.
Yeah, keep that in mind here, people.
So not only Revenge of the Snake Man, but then the Energy Zoids book. He appears again, Skeletor in this one, of course.
But this is one of the clunkiest mini comics too, man. Like,
yeah,
I think this is something you and I really got to like break down and try to reassess this introduction of what Rotar and Twistoid or how they're introduced in this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I definitely want to do, because last time I felt like it didn't get any kind of coverage on it. So yes, I definitely want to take this and let's talk more about it.
Yeah, this will be definitely a good, the bad, and the makeover episode for sure.
Yeah. So stay tuned for Energy Zoids episodes.
Yeah.
On that. So here's another page from here. But it's always nice to see Snakeface and Squeeze being presented and doing their thing.
Absolutely, and I always thought it was fun, because I obviously they would do this with a lot of the ways that heroes and villains that came out the same year. They would kind of pair them up in stories, like Buzz-Off and Mechanic became pals, you know, through the mini comics and through Filmation. Cobra Khan and Web Store, mini comics and Filmation. You need like a Squeeze and Snakeface, Tongue Lasher and Rattler, and then like I feel like Mossman and Cyclone, you might see them maybe paired up from time. I take that back. not really that much, if at all. But I feel like there were certain pairings of characters that you just seem like you would see them, and like, okay, you know what? Yeah, they come out the same way, but I could totally see these two as being allies for the forces of good or the forces of evil, because you know, with a vast and ever-growing array of heroes and villains, you would have allies. You would have ones you would probably would rather work with that guy or these two other guys, and like that's your comrades when you go on adventures together.
I mean, it's like anywhere you work, really, and you would much rather.
Yeah.
I would much rather hang out with these guys than anyone else. And anytime you're paired up with the other people, sitting there thinking, oh God, not these guys again.
But then you think like, because I always enjoyed like He-Man. Like anytime you have new heroic wars, He-Man's always teaming up. He's teaming up with Fisto. He's teaming up with Buzz-Off. He's teaming up with Mossman and Cyclone and Clamp Champ and Extendar. Like you just see that, and you see like He-Man is like the best of friends with all these guys.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, like He-Man, they are always like they're happy to be teaming up with He-Man, and He-Man gets along with all of them.
I mean, it would be an interesting dynamic to think who does Fisto not like in the Heroic Warriors? Who is someone do you think he would sit there and be like, I don't want to hang out with this guy anymore? Anytime I'm paired up with him, first thing I'm thinking is, boy, if there's going to be danger around, we're fucked.
That I feel like though.
Or do you think that they're all just the best of friends? Because I don't see it that way. I think that would be an interesting dynamic.
Because you don't see it. Let's play with that.
Okay.
Because my perspective is like I just see all these guys like it could be Extendar and Stratos. Does that make sense as a pairing? No.
Mm-hmm.
But why not? Or why couldn't it work? I mean, if you're looking strictly on what Stratos does compared to what Extendar does. Now, if you had Stratos and Mekaneck, Stratos is a winged warrior, can fly. Mekaneck can see over great distances. You know, with the guy of like a guy on up in the air and the guy on land, but then you have Buzz-Off and Mekaneck. Like that kind of goes hand in hand already.
I guess I'm just thinking like personality wise. Would some characters look at other characters and not like take for instance, if we're strictly going off of what we've seen in mini comics and such. Let's take that version of Snout Spout where he's just like, I feel like I don't belong. He's just like a sad sack of shit, right? Are there going to be other heroic warriors that are going to look at Snout Spout and just be like, man, all this guy does is he sits here and he pouts and all this. I don't want to go on this mission with this
saying
guy.
That.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
I see there being like some dynamics where some characters just aren't really going to, they'll tolerate them. But if they have to go on missions with them constantly, they're probably sitting there thinking, oh, God, like, what a headache. It's like stupid people at work and me having to have small talk with them or help them out with something or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't want to fucking do anything with you. Like, just stay away from me. I wonder if just over time, some of these guys kind of gotta not like each other as much as they do others.
If you were to follow the context that the Vintage Line wrote, which really there weren't any sad sacks other than Snout Spout and Extendar.
Yeah.
Mekaneck, no matter what some people will say about the character, was not written as a, you know, like he has an MYP. I extend my neck. Like, you guys just fuck you. Mekaneck Clement, even though it gave us the great version of Count Marzo, like no, just fuck off. They're really the only two that are written of like I don't feel like I belong, and I blame Mattel for that. It's like someone in marketing said, like, these guys really don't fit. Let's roll with that, you know. Whereas everyone else feels like they belong. Mossman, like Cyclone, we're talking about a guy, a human tornado. Like there's nothing, you know, fantasy about it. He's more sci-fi, but you see him next to him and a Mossman, like he fits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we're got with a built-in radar system, and like, yeah, I don't see any of these guys, and that's just because I would, if I was writing it, like you'd have maybe a slightly hot-headed person or someone who's very eager, like in Filmation, like Rain Man is slow, you know, but he's still like he's ready to kick some ass.
Who would you make the hot-head character?
So they made Buzz-Off the hot-head character in MYP, and I'm like, I don't.
That doesn't
work for me. Doesn't work for me, brother. If I was gonna make any of the heroic warriors a hothead, oh man, I started to say Rio Blast, but he's a marshal. You're not gonna be made.
Yeah, he wouldn't lose his cool.
Wouldn't lose his cool. So you can't have him doing that.
Unless you want to take him like a Dirty Harry kind of route, I suppose.
But see, I can't see He-Man getting along with someone who would
you could initially maybe start him out like that, and that rubs
He-Man the wrong way. You know what? You could do that. You could have Rio Blast, you know, from where he was running the show beforehand, would take matters into his own hands and would I mean, because we look at Dirty Harry. you think about the scene where like that girl goes missing and they find her dead, and he's pissed off. He's like, you know what? I could have killed this fucking guy if we were not abiding by the fucking law. This guy doesn't abide by the rules. Why do we have to? But you get this scenario, and I feel like writing Rio Blast like that is like, yeah, he's still taking care of the bad guy, and he's getting the person who's in trouble back to their parents or saving the day, whatever it is. And you know, we really don't know what law really is on Eternia. They'll mention the courts. They'll mention, you know, it just seems like it's just good and evil, as opposed to, look, we have these laws, and you know, they have prison cells. They have Eternian mines to put prisoners in. It's like, hey, Beastman, you fucked up. Well, now you're going to the imprisoned mines. You know, that kind of thing. But we don't know if the courts, the ruling system, do they go before King Randor? And King Randor's like, yes.
Off with his head.
Yeah, off with his fucking head. You know, that kind of thing.
See, now we're kind of overthinking it, I think.
Well, no, but I feel like when they say, like in the commercial, Rio Blast, He-Man's quick draw deputy.
Yeah.
Like, he should be brought in as the symbol of, like, we're establishing law and order. We have a collection of laws that are being upheld by the royal palace. The heroic warriors are kind of helping enforce that throughout the land. But then we have Rio Blast, who is like the quintessential, like, we're abiding by these rules here, and make his character, like, there are certain times, like, much like an art. Well, Bravestar does a wonderful job with that, where Tex, and I forgot what the name of the episode is, but he takes the claim of Carrion from Diamondback, and I forgot his partner's name, and has their minds manipulated into thinking that, you know, it's really Tex's. So JB, the judge, has to side with Tex over the claim, because technically, even though he is clearly lied and manipulated, he's abiding by the law in her eyes. And Bravestar knows, like, fuck the law. Like, I know what he did. And JB's like, unless you have proof, I have to give him the claim.
Yeah. And
have Rio Blast have that moment where he's like telling He-Man, look, He-Man, it may be the law, but we know damn well, you know, Tongue Lasher, you know, did whatever that, you know, misdeed was. You know, it's like, well, look, Rio, unless we can prove it, you can't just walk into the Viper Tower and guns blazing and start killing everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
so maybe initially make him a hothead, but
well, and that's why I feel like maybe he gets sent to Eternia as this new system of laws that the King Ranger is going to, you know, start to enforce. We need a deputy. Like, He-Man is doing things all over the planet, like, not enforce the law. He's going above and beyond. He's trying to save the fucking planet. We need a guy that is going to sit here and abide to protect the peasants, the farmers, the families, you know, the businessmen on Eternia. You know, would you have maybe lower level criminals to, you know, they catch, you know, Cobra Khan trying to steal something from the palace, and, you know, has him arrested, brings him before, you know, the judge or something like that. So I feel like, man, there's a separate, like, mini series right there, like the Adventures of Law and Order on Eternia with Rio Blast. You know. Oh, God. Law and Order. Yeah, here comes Jerry Orbach.
This is the splash page from one of the UK issues that I feel like James and I covered this. So go back and watch one of those UK episodes. I think on here it's saying that's issue 37, but I don't feel like that's right. I don't know. Maybe my wires are getting crossed. But also in another instance, I do remember specifically, I guess James went along with it. I'm like, oh, this is sort of the first time I'm ever really hearing the Clan of the Viper. And I think I had talked to you about it, and you were like, well, actually, no, this is mentioned.
It's in the King of the Snake Men. When it's mentioned when Cobra Khan is, like, suggested to join them as Skeletor Spy, and King says, welcome to the Clan of the Viper.
I love that.
I do too. Yeah.
I almost kind of prefer it over them being just referred to on packaging and things as the Snake Man.
Well, I think if you were to do like storytelling, like going forward, like referring to them as the Clan of the Viper Clan of the Viper, and like, yeah, they're Snake Men. So yes, as a race, they're the Snake Men, but their official title would be the Clan of the Viper.
Yeah.
You know,
they should have put some of that on the toy packaging, but I love this page right here.
Yeah, it's a fun page.
I'd love to see this colored.
A group shot of just the core Snake Men too. Like, you know, they're all the big lieutenants. Like, you got your underling snake soldiers, you know, they're kind of alluded to in King of the Snake Men.
But these are the guys, right?
Yeah, this is the main crew. This is the wrecking crew of the Snake Men, like the heavy hitters.
Yeah. So here's some more UK stuff.
I to this day, I've always wanted to see an illustration using the battle ram and having it being hijacked by some evil warrior of some kind, and He-Man's hanging on the outside of it as it's like going super fast and trying to break into whoever has hijacked the battle ram, like the battle ram has been hijacked to attack or take over Central Tower, and He-Man's like a last ditch effort holding on to the end, and then you have like Web sort of crawling along the side, trying to like take He-Man out and knock him off.
I can be start writing it, man.
Yeah. Oh boy, what a disappointment this issue was.
Yeah, this is issue 8 of the Star Comics. What the hell?
Fuck.
What is going on here, man? He's happy to see you.
Yeah, boy is he ever, man.
Yeah, he's smiling.
Have you never seen a more joyful villain in He-Man in my life?
Yeah, I mean, this is like one of those shitty horror films, you know? It's like he's supposed to be scary and menacing, but you look at that.
This is what showed up on the set. Well, we didn't have time to correct, and
let's
go with it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like the artist really couldn't on me budget. Like that's what the toy looks like. Well, not the smiling face, but like fill it in with eyes and teeth. He's not like.
This is fine once the snakes pop out, but the rest of this is
the guy was really taking it literally, and then putting no details of scales on his face. Like there's nothing. I mean, you see a little bit on that one bottom panel there, like a couple scales, but it looks like a Muppet.
Yeah,
there's nothing menacing about that at all.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That might be the biggest defense of the character, and of course that panel right there just looks like he's got hot dogs coming out of his face. Like it just. Ugh. And I hate that. The Star Comics should have been so much more, because if you look at the Thundercat comics that were coming out by Star Comics, like they took I think Jerry Conway even worked on that book, and like the dialogue is so much more serious. And you look at the He-Man comics, like they just did not give a fuck until James will kill me for this. The guy that showed up in the last like couple of issues started taking the book seriously and giving it like compelling stories. And
they're
things like that.
That's fine with books over now.
Yep.
This is fall 87 of the Mass Universe magazine, which you get what you get with the
it's the same very generic kitty art in every one of these comic strips. Which had I had these as a kid, I wouldn't have bothered me at all. I didn't start seeing this stuff till I was a teenager when I started buying the magazines off eBay.
But what a combination here! He-Man and Randor going against
Ninja and Snake Face. Yeah, it's I could buy it, seeing these new recruits, new Snake Men and new Evil Warriors, and they're going to take on a father and son.
You got the Squeeze here as well, and Blast Attack. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't think we did. Maybe we showed this off when we did Blast Attack. I feel like we didn't, but then of course we got to show this one off. Yeah, once again.
Never gets tiresome.
No,
I mean, this by far, this might be one of the top 5. Maybe top 3 that Earl Norm did because of the roster, and it's in pre-Eternia. So it's God, just look at that, just so fucking. And then this one, my God, I just love the surprise. Like Skeletor thinks he's gonna take over with or defeat Clancham and Snoutspout regarding Grayskull, and here comes the backup team.
Yeah, Snake Face ready to go jump in there with the fray with Clampchamp, Snoutspout, Blade.
Which I just seeing Ninja and Blade, which seems like a very logical team up. They're very drastically. They look so different, and I love that pose of Rio Blast like coming up, like he's carrying Moss Man's mace, but it looks cool on him. I don't know why. It's he's taken seriously. No guns are whipped out. And he's ready to just beat the fuck. That's his nightstick.
There you go. Yeah, that was probably the intention there.
Yeah. And then the last of the William George posters, which this shakes it up, because you got heroes and villains. Well, I think mainly villains on one side, but then you got a mix of villains and heroes on the other side. Where it's normally his posters are. Well, no, the Attorney posters are all over the place. I take that back. I'll shut the fuck up. But
yeah, it is kind of strange that you have
Faker next to Prince Adam.
I guess he's sneaking up behind him, and Rotar's trying to stop him.
I guess so. And what's I get like having some of the first wave figures in that poster, like Man at Arms and Tila and He-Man, obviously, because the movie's just come out. They're in the movie. But why Prince Adam, is used and not like
Prince Adam shouldn't be here if He-Man's already on the
poster. And yet in some of the other posters, like the 84 poster, the 85 poster, Prince Adam is there prominently on the poster.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's like, hey, he's a figure you can buy. Put him on there.
This comes from Esteban Maroto, which I like the weird trippiness.
It's definitely a fever dream poster for sure.
Yeah, I dig this quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it's cool. I like He-Man like charging at Skeletor in the center of that. It's pretty badass.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And then this is
like one of the German books.
Yeah, advertisement for one of their magazines. Pretty badass shot of Snakeface right there.
Yeah, that's cool. Using the geysers. That's a popular background for He-Man characters. Geysers.
And the sword here kind of looks more daggerish than anything.
Yeah. It's kind of more short and blunt.
Yeah, some more catalog stuff we have here. Then we didn't have this for Blast Attack, which we probably should have had this as well.
Yeah. Another German insert. Which those are always fun to see when I come across them. Say Germany they had some devoted He-Man fans. They kept this line going a little
Squeeze
bit
holding back Clamp Champ as Snakeface turns
He-Man. Yeah, it's He-Man.
Yeah.
It looks a little off model.
It almost did kind of look maybe Prince Adamish, just because the way this is set up kind of looks more like
you see the part of the harness there, but you see nothing in the front there.
Yeah, so I had to do a quick double take there. And then moving on to the action figures, we showed off the vintage. After the vintage, of course, we get the NECA Stactions from the Four Horsemen. This comes after the MYP series and the 2000X figures. All that stuff kind of was coming to an end, so this is their version of Snakeface,
which I dare say might be one of the best ones they did. I just thought their interpretation of Snakeface, like it was similar to how MYP interpreted him, but destroyed it. Like their version of Snakeface took that MYP design and turned it on its head. It just made it so much more superior, man. Like the snake tongue. Like that just looks so fucking cool, man. That menacing smile on his face.
Do you have this one?
I do have that one, yeah.
Okay. Which one? What Stactions do you not
have? Jitsu, Battle Armor He-Man, Evil Lyn. It was part of the last wave of Faker.
Because they were harder to come across.
They were harder. I think, and I'm trying to remember because I think the places that were keeping them, like I couldn't get them. Like they either sold the shipments for the amount that was available was so hard to come by.
Mm-hmm.
But the first, like I even bought the King Randor San Diego exclusive. Like I was trying to get every one of them I could, and some of them there was the original He-Man Staction. I couldn't get that one either.
Man.
And that was later. Like it was more about like Clamp Champ, Grizzlord, Leech, Montana, Snakeface, Squeeze. Squeeze, I ended up getting it at Mad Monster with you because I missed out on him initially too.
I don't remember you picking that up.
Yeah. I think it was the first Mad Monster we went to.
How much do you remember how much you paid for that?
I think it was like $30.
That's not bad at all.
No, minimum box.
Hell of a deal there.
Yeah.
After that, of course, we get the classics version. So here he is on card, and then
I like the head with the teeth and the eyes. It was cool. They added that.
I do too. Once again, a fantastic looking figure.
Mm-hmm.
I do say so myself. Such a shame. Love it. Yeah, so you
see Mattel. That's how you do He-Man figures.
If you want to go that route, you can do that. If you want to put this,
because both head sculpts look great.
I think I got the. Do I have the snakes? Can't tell. As my chair is squeaky.
I got the snakes on mine. The snake exposed.
Yeah, I can't see them from here with the blue lighting. And then of course we have the Origins figure, which was the last to be released. As far as I know, I don't think they did a Masterverse or anything of this.
Yeah.
There's some shots. Not bad.
No, it's not bad. No, in all honesty, it's fine. He looks more proportioned too. Like his legs don't look super teeny tiny, and the upper body it just looks so. What are you doing?
Click. I thought I had another image of the origins figure. So that kind of does it for the history of Snakeface. Now we move on. You caught a glimpse of it already. Sorry, I spoiled it a little bit for you.
It's like Bobby the Brain. Whose side is he on? You've already spoiled the inning here.
Tyler has an original story that he came up with, but also we have the cover to go with. So I'll click over to this. You kind of tell the people at home sort of I kind of already have an idea what spawned what we're going to see here on the cover. And then from there, you can just go into what you got. So bam.
Yeah. Face to Snakeface. And this is about giving Snakeface like a solo like introduction to the mythology. Obviously, if you're looking at this, if you have watched this podcast at any point, or you're a fan of 80s fantasy films, Clash of the Titans was the biggest inspiration for this. And this will be the first time I did do a Clash of the Titans inspiration Snakeface illustration many years back from Kevin. And I'm like, and part of me was like, I don't know if I want to do that again. I've already done this. Like, you know what? I could make this better. And this is better. You know, I mean, no, I mean, by far.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. Because the previous one is me as He-Man. So.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, this is gonna be way better.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. With Snakeface lurking in the background and a big ass snake, and Pumira is the victim. You know, I like doing Thundercat crossovers a lot. But yeah, this was I had no story. I just wanted to see like a Clash of the Titans like homage with He-Man, Snakeface. I wanted to use Clamp Champ because last time I used Lizard Man for this, for a cover you guys have not seen yet. I was like, I really want to, include some of my really intensely favorite characters that Kevin has done from time, like once or twice, but I'm like make him a real prominent part of this idea.
But it also it's like poetry because Clamp Champ being in the same wave and all too.
Same wave, and maybe the card art as well.
And of course, for our audio listeners out there, Tyler had to have a woman being saved on the cover.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a staple going forward. It will not change. Now I will say, like, one of the other ideas Kevin's doing for me at the moment are already established female characters. They're not like, hey, I found someone, use her for the model. But again, I say it's like an homage to the Savage Sword of Conan books. There's always a beautiful girl Conan's trying to save. Even has nothing to do with the story. It's just an homage to like. And plus, Kevin draws some of the most beautiful I've ever seen. Like. And that's what keeps me going with it. Like
this one in particular. So when you do these random women in here, do you tell him, hey, base it off of this actress, or you just let him? Okay, so
yeah, I give him the female, like the celebrity I'm thinking, and then I give him the outfit.
This one, just judging from the art, I'm going to take a stab at it, and I'm probably wrong here, but to me, she looks a little bit like Jessica Alba.
You'd be right.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah, you nailed it, dude. It was her with dark, brown curly hair. Like
in Honey.
Yeah. So,
did she have curly? Yeah, at one point she had curly hair.
Yeah,
Honey,
she did,
right?
but I don't know if it was in the movie Honey or not. But I just like looked her up and trying to like look. Okay, what would be like the best looking?
I'll put the image right here, right now on the screen for all of you at home. There we go. I'm glad I got that because I looked at it, I was like, that looks like Jessica Alba to me. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Like one was the Culture Crawl was Vanessa Williams. The first one was Michelle Bauer.
Okay.
The one we haven't shown to people is Jane Seymour.
Yeah.
And then the one of the two he's working on.
Don't spoil the rest because I want to be able to guess.
Okay, yeah, we're going forward. Yeah. But I just like doing it like a different Bond girl, a different Bond girl every movie, like a different actress.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
fair.
and I already have like an idea of like future ones, like just kind of thinking about who I would want to use as another, damsel in distress in a scenario with He-Man and a buddy saving somebody from the Horde, the evil warriors, Skeletor, whoever the case may be. I had no story. It was just like, I just want to see this, and I thought maybe I could come up with something. And I bombed the last time where I had a beginning, but I'm like, I have a writer's block. I can't crack the code of getting the beginning to where I'm trying to get to. And this, once I started writing, it just kind of all fell into place. Like I was listening to Clash of the Titans, and just like the climax with Medusa. Like I just listened to that whole sequence, like when they approach the Island of the Dead, and just thinking about like, okay, how can I build this up, and created a whole new story, and
without any further ado, Tyler presents Face to Snake Face.
All right. I feel like this is a long fucking story.
All right.
Maybe I'll burn through it a lot quicker than I think.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I as I was writing, I went back and changed, so I may have to jump back around just in the very beginning, and then the rest of it flows perfectly.
Okay.
All right. The opening: many miles from the dark hemisphere and the light hemisphere, not too far from the Mystic Mountains, a trio of serpents wander down a winding trail into a vastly deep quarry. King Hiss looks at the ground. It was here, he speaks. Ratlord speaks. I remember it well, my king. Squeeze. I thought Hero tore it down. Hiss responds, if I remember how that obnoxiously positive pest thought, he wouldn't want any remains of our time left on Eternia, which is why the 3 towers were sunk into the ground. I'm willing to believe he did the same here. Hiss raises his staff. Green energy emerges from it. A powerful blast. Okay. There we go. Okay, yeah.
We're live, pal.
Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, because like I said, I started writing this. I went back and added something.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, here we go. Hiss raises his staff to the sky. Green energy emerges from it. An ancient temple of the Snakemen has just been unearthed. After all these years, my sanctuary of sacrifice still remains intact after that wretched hero sealed it up so many eons ago. Hiss lifts his serpent staff and emits a powerful blast to open the gateway. Hiss and his men enter the temple. Pillars with snake motifs and statues fill the endless halls. King Hiss. We shall reclaim this tower as ours once again, with the Viper Tower always under watch of the heroic warriors, and Snake Mountain surrounded by Skeletor and his band of buffoons. This will be where we shall plan to plot and plunder this planet once more.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, hey, plot and plunder. There's a lot of.
You'll notice this. I take great pride in working in alliteration when I can. I almost find it a challenge to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And Rattler walks toward a basement entrance, the crypt of Cascavel. Hiss watches Rattler descend and thinks, I wonder if he's still alive down there. Hiss stops Squeeze from following and waits. And after a period of silence, he hears Rattler's tail rattle. Rattler yells out and is abruptly silenced. Hiss smiles and beckons Squeeze to follow. They descend into the crypt, no light to show the way. Hiss snaps his fingers and torches light all through. The instant light illumination showcases a vast array of stone statues. Men, women, and even children. Hiss looks to his left and sees Rattler turned to stone. Squeezes eyes in shock and immediately looks around to attack. Careful, my king, an enemy of the Snake Man lurks here. Hiss smiles. Squeeze stepping forward to protect Hiss, his arms coiled up to attack. Suddenly, a being, cloaked in shadow, leaps out from behind a pillar in front of Squeeze and brings him to an immediate stance of stone. Hiss laughs out loud. And here I thought you had perished when the temple did. And the shadow speaks. You left me to die in here. The shadow moves closer. You let that miserable bag of dragon bones turn me into this monster and abandon me after all I did for you. Hiss. I don't recall telling you further to deceive Granamir. You did what I asked and took advantage of his trust. Even I was not foolish enough to attempt such a mistake. The shadow leaps at Hiss. Snakes protruding from his eyes, his body, a long forked tongue dispensed forward. A blue light illuminates from his eyes. Hiss instantly shielded by a magical green shell over his body. Now, you really don't think your greatest asset would work on your king, did you? Hiss grabs the being by his throat, struggling to break free. We've come to proclaim our temple. Now you can either stand by my side and serve me faithfully as you once did, and Hiss tightens his grip, or I can sever that snake-filled skull that sits upon your head. Snakeface struggles to speak. I live only to serve you. Hiss lets go. Excellent. As Snakeface regains his breath, Hiss walks by Rattler and Squeeze and uses his staff to remove their stone coffins. Hiss heads towards the staircase. We have much to plan. Now, if you're wondering why Granomir, I specifically put Granomir in there as an homage to the speech he gives in Dragon's Gift, where he talks about why he cut off all humans.
Okay.
That they would come to him. He found them very, to quote, vain, greedy, warlike, untruthful, and quite ugly.
Well, I mean, it's also a good way too when you think of the Snake Men, the period they existed. Granomir is obviously going to fit in that space of time. So yes, that's a very excellent callback to tie it all together.
And that
show you the history of Eternia. Kind of
trying to tie it all together. These guys did exist during Granomir's time, and that this was a result of like Granomir's wrath. Like you've duped me into helping you help the Snake Man. Like, you know, fuck you, and just turns him into this monster.
Yeah,
you know, you want to be a Snake Man? Fine.
And that adds a new layer to Granomir as well.
Yeah, and I like that's when I go back and think of that episode. That's what I'm thinking, like
showing how ruthless he can
be to the right people who are like, you know what, you really are making humans my worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I can't trust none of you guys. All you guys want is want shit from me. Like I just thought it'd be fun to really, you know, because I just feel like Snakeface is not an actual snake. He looks like he was once human.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he should be someone who deceived someone of great power, and as punishment.
Yeah, so it kind of turns into that whole man in the iron mask kind of deal for him. Yeah, love it. Continue.
Cool. All right. Late afternoon in the royal palace, a royal cruiser descends into the courtyard of Eternos. The royal family, escorted by the royal guard and the royal bodyguard, Clampchamp, approach the cruiser. Opening the side hatch are King Theoden, Queen Gaia, and their daughter Ariadne. Queen Gaia, Randor, Marlena, and Adam approach the family, and Randor speaks to Theoden. Theoden, my old friend, it is a crime, for it has been too long since we've shaken hands. I couldn't agree more, Randor. The years have been good to you, given all the battles you've had to endure. Queen Gaia and Marlena embrace and compliment each other on their beauty and kindness. Adam approaches Ariadne with a smitten greeting. By the ancients, Ariadne, if I may be so bold as to ask how you've gotten so more beautiful since the last time I saw you. And the princess smiles very big and embraces Adam. Allow me to rebuttal your question with how can you still charm as intensely now as you did back then?
And then they go make out somewhere.
Hey, well, I'm trying to really. Hey, we don't get to see Adam actually like engage in a whole lot of like flirtatious behavior. So I really wanted to like.
Yeah. And usually always just He-Man. Really, when you think about it, it's always the one that's been in those instances where there's someone. Ooh, He-Man, you're so
that,
sexy.
or you'll see touches, or even the DC comics, but actually like take time and actually see Adam, like why a woman is smitten. Like it's not just because he's a prince. Like he can charm women. He doesn't treat them like your objects. Like he has genuine infatuation with this Jessica Alba looking princess, and who would
the Bruce Wayne effect, sort of.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see here. Okay. And Adam speaks, I hope I can persuade you and your family to stay a little longer than I had heard. Ariadne says, I don't know about my parents, but I had planned on a much longer visit. The two rest their heads together as they are escorted to the throne room. Later that night, a large banquet is held in honor of the two families. Wonderful food, music, and entertainment from Orko fill the royal hall. Adam walks over to Orko and asks him something privately. Orko, with much joy, says, of course. Orko floats over to Ariadne and begins to speak a rhyme to her. Princess Ariadne, we thank you for being our most lovely guest. Would you be so kind as to give our prince a dance at his most humble request? And she looks at Adam with those smitten eyes, and Adam looks at Songster and gives him a nod. So just picture
Yeah,
Songster.
songster.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Good little nod there, sir.
And a beautiful melody begins to echo in the hall as the prince and princess begin an impromptu dance. The two royal parents look on in heavy happiness, hoping this may be the beginning of a royal union. Close-up of the couple. Orko floats by and pulls a flower out of his hat, handing it to Adam. Adam, without hesitation, places the flower on Ariadne's left ear, and Adam says, "Still not as beautiful as you," and they embrace closer. The evening visual is suddenly viewed through a large crystal ball, and Snakeface speaks. "I haven't looked upon a beauty like that since the creation of the three towers. I must have her." He is sitting on his throne, his hand placed on his chin in thought. "Consider her a gift to you if you can do one thing for me." "Anything, my king. Make her mine, and I'll vanquish anyone." His stands and walks down his throne, waving his hand over the crystal, and an image of He-Man appears, battling the Snake Men. Skeletor is a temporary ally. Hordak doesn't reside here, but this one has become the biggest threat to our dominance over Eternia, the one called He-Man. Snakeface observes closely as Hiss continues. He and his allies have dismantled every attempt to take Grayskull and the towers of Eternia. And Snakeface speaks. "I shall remove that threat with one devious glance." "I know you will. That is why we shall lure him here into the crypt where you'll be waiting for him. And once He-Man has become my greatest prize of power, she'll be forever yours." Snakeface leans into the crystal as it closes in on Ariadne's face. Snakeface's tongue and eyes, snakes, flicker outwards. Back at the royal palace, the festivities have concluded. The families begin to retire for the night. Adam escorts Ariadne to her chambers. "Adam, you made my first night so special. I can't imagine how the rest of this visit will culminate." Adam kisses her goodnight. "We'll begin with a walk in the gardens before breakfast, and goodnight." Clanchamp approaches Adam. "My apologies, my lady, your highness, but your father's requested your presence before the retiring for the night." Adam and Clanchamp leave, heading down the hallway, and Ariadne enters her bedroom and looks out the balcony. Thinking of what life would be like to live here. With a heavy sigh of joy, she heads to sit down at the vanity mirror to comb her hair before bed. Above her, large-scale arms coil around the rafters. Suddenly, she begins to hear a slight rattle. She leaps off the chair. "A snake's in here. I can handle this. If I'm to be Adam's queen someday, I need to be able to handle threats, especially something as a snake."
I like how she's already sitting there, like, "Yeah, I want to be his, I want to be his queen."
Absolutely. It's Prince Adam. Like, it's much like like Bruce Wayne. All the women that court him, they all want to marry him. Like they want to be the prize girl.
Yeah, and I guess that's something that's not really. That's an interesting thing to actually talk about a little more, is the fact that Adam is. I'm not saying he's looking for anyone, but I'm sure there are plenty of women that are looking at that opportunity and thinking like, "Oh, I could be queen someday." That could be another story you could write, where it's just like there's wherever some just like really poor girl is. I want to say poor. I'm saying like no money,
like a peasant girl, not someone who's just,
like a Cinderella, like a Cinderella story, but almost like in a psychotic way.
Oh god, like a crazy fucked up girl. Or something.
Yeah, it could be like
gotta have Evelyn like in disguise, like
What's the movie I'm thinking of? Shit. Where she's like super obsessed with the guy. It's not Misery. That would be an interesting an interesting Master Universe story.
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah,
where it's just
puts Orko in as a bunny boiler and then burns him alive. And
God, that's a little too dark too. But I'm just it would be interesting to have like not go that far with it, but have some sort of take where there are just all of these women that see it as more of nothing, just an opportunity to be queen and nothing more, nothing less. Yeah. Yeah, just weird shit to kind of think about. Anyway, go ahead.
Cool, man. All right. She grabs a knife off her table. She slowly checks under the bed, ready to overcome her fears. And she sees there's nothing under the bed. "I know I heard a rattle. Maybe that songster walking outside with one of his instruments. As she stands up, the rattle begins again, and Rattler surprises her from behind. Before she can scream, those large-scaled coiled arms quickly grab her and cover her mouth. Squeeze speaks. We've got her. Can we rely on tongue lashes to secure our getaway? And Rattler responds, if he doesn't, Hiss will personally remove every layer of his skin. The snake men look out over the balcony and see paralyzed royal guards, tongue lashes signaling to them that the coast is clear. Rattler leaves the parchment paper, stabbed into the wall with a snake fang dagger. The next morning, Adam and Clanchamp approach the princess's chamber. I'm sorry, Anne, but your father insisted I escort you two on your walk this morning. He wants to protect his possible daughter. Adam smiles. I'm in full agreement with my father, old friend, and he pats Clamp on the shoulder before he knocks. When no response comes, Adam and Clamp cautiously enter the room, and they see no sign of a struggle, but she is nowhere to be found. Her bed wasn't even slept in. Clampchamp, with his heightened senses, notices flakes of snakeskin by the balcony. At the same time, Adam comes upon the parchment, and it reads, to the royal family, we have taken your lovely guests, so we humbly suggest there was only one plan. Come and get her, He-Man. I want to play like the request part, like they were observing that whole like romance, like so we're gonna kind of mock the royal family. You know, that's why I did like I don't expect the statement to actually rhyme. It was like, hey, we've been watching you, so we're mocking you, and we're gonna, you know, just
I can I dig it though.
Signed Hiss. Adam sees a location illustration at the bottom. Clampchamp. Your Highness, I'm fairly certain, and then Adam quickly interjects, King Hiss. He's knowingly setting a trap for He-Man. I'll alert the guard and gather whatever heroic warriors that are on standby. And Adam replies, no, wait. If we follow this map with a full army, there's no telling what Hiss will do to her in retaliation. Let me contact He-Man first and see what he suggests. Clampchamp immediately says, Your Highness, I strongly suggest I accompany He-Man. We all know too well Hiss will have some traps planned. He'll need my senses to help avoid the horrors of this snake temple. Good point. I suggest getting a couple of sky sleds prepared and wait for He-Man. I'm sure he'll arrive promptly. At once, and Clampchamp takes off immediately. Adam returns to his room and unlocks the bookcase. I'm coming, Ariadne. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power. Cut to the royal hangar, and Clampchamp fires up 2 sky sleds. Orko rushes over. Hey, Champ, what's the hurry about? And Orko, my friend, it's a matter of grave importance. Orko places his hands up to his face. Can I help? He-Man speaks. Little buddy, please alert the royal families that Ariadne has been taken by the Snake Men, but that Clampchamp and I will get her back. Tell them to hold any further attack until they hear from us. And Orko salutes. I'm on it. And he vanishes immediately. The sky sleds take up towards the Mystic Mountains. Inside the temple, Ariadne is taken into the throne room of Hiss. Hiss stands to welcome her. Welcome to my temple, princess. Allow me to introduce myself. She runs at him and slaps him in the face, and she's immediately grabbed back by Squeeze. And Hiss just laughs. If I didn't already have plans for you, I'd take you as my bride personally. And Ariadne responds, I wouldn't touch you to spit on you. Whatever your plan is, I'll have no part of it. Hiss suddenly removes his human skin, erupting in his body of snakes. Ariadne stands in a level of shock she's never experienced. Since when did I say you had a choice? The snake men escort her into the crypt. She looks all around at the stone statues, wondering what is happening. Hiss puts his skin back on as his men shackle her to a pillar. Then King Hiss follows with, My lovely lady, you are here as bait for my most hated adversary, He-Man. Ariadne just looks down in sadness. From the stories I've heard, He-Man has crushed you snake men many times. What makes you think you can defeat him now? She tried to hold back her tears in fear. Hiss responds, I'm glad you asked. And he snaps his fingers, and Rattler and Squeeze stand there with their arms crossed. Tongue Lasher brings in a terribly frightened child. Hiss kneels down to this child who's crying uncontrollably. Ariadne starts to tear up and says, What is this? Look, I'll do what you ask, but let that child go right now or I swear. Hiss consoles the child. Oh, I know you're scared. You miss your parents, don't you? And the child nods while still crying. Hiss makes a straight face. Would you like to go home now? And the child nods while still crying. Ariadne looks up from this terrible situation and sees someone in the shadows approaching quietly. King Hiss, you've been a brave girl, and I respect bravery. You may go now. Tell your parents how brave you were. The snake men step aside and the child runs. Ariadne lowers her head in dread. Suddenly, that a scream like none other that she's ever heard is unleashed and suddenly silenced. Ariadne looks up. The being in the shadows comes forth. Her fear grows as she sees this snake-like man coming towards her. King Hiss, allow me to introduce you to an admirer of yours. And Snakeface speaks. Soon we shall be together forever. And she responds, never, she yells. Snakeface angrily responds, it'll be forever. Flesh or no flesh. The choice is yours. Stepping out of the shadows completely, Snakeface sets a small statue down. The little girl, encased in stone, the look of her crying, locked in its stone face.
Man, that's a good way to set them up as just being like these total bastards.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you always say, like villains need to be villains, right?
You destroy their credibility. You make fun of them, right, Jared Leto?
What better way than we're gonna turn a kid to stone? Yeah, to really set the bar.
A kid that's like it's taken away from its home. Like that's what I want to picture. These guys went and grabbed this child from her home and taken to this place
just to send a message.
Send a message. Like all this was is just to freak out this princess by stealing this girl.
Man,
nothing more. Make an example.
Yeah,
out of this child.
Jesus.
He-Man and Clamp arrive at their destination. Before they head towards the chasm quarry, He-Man gets a psychic signal from the sorceress. He-Man, I must warn you, you're about to face an enemy you have never faced. I know very little of this unknown enemy. However, one thing is for certain, you must not look this enemy in the face. And He-Man responds, I don't understand, sorceress. How can we? I can say no more. Do not look this evil in the face, and look to the power of Grayskull to guide you to victory. And the connection ends. Clamp asks, what did she say? That we mustn't look this enemy in the eyes. And the wind howls over the rocky terrain as they slowly approach the chasm quarry. Clamp speaks. Sounds like Hiss has found a new ally. He-Man, your senses are really going to come in handy, my friend. We must be careful and cautious. They make their way through the surrounding rocky terrain, look down to see the newly discovered temple with the winding path down to it. Where did this come from? And He-Man responds, this must have been one of Hiss's temples buried under the earth eons ago. I'm willing to bet my ancestor Hero or the elders sunk it after they banished the Snake Men. Clamp, we have towers and temples popping up everywhere since these snakes crawled out of Snake Mountain. The wind howls continuously as the heroes walk carefully down the path. They reach the bottom and see the entrance to the temple. Nobody's around. He-Man, you picking up anything, old friend? Nothing so far. The heroes unsheath their weapons and begin to enter the temple. They see the throne, but nobody around. Torches lit, the vast array of snake statues and art filled the throne room. Clamp stops He-Man. Wait, someone's coming from over there. They turn quietly towards the opening in the floor. Suddenly, the snake men charge out of the crypt. Tongue Lasher, Squeeze, Rattler, and a few snake soldiers charge out after them. A battle ensues. He-Man dodges the tongue attack from Tongue Lasher. He-Man grabs his tongue and impales it to the floor with the power sword.
Ooh.
Rattler quickly lunges with his extended head strike, tail rattling with intensity. He-Man steps aside, grabbing him by the neck and slamming him into one of the stone pillars. Clamp quickly takes down the two snake soldiers. He's quickly grabbed by Squeeze. The snake man laughs as his arms coil tight. Clamp slams his head backwards into Squeeze's face. The coiled arms loosen. Clamp locks his power pinchers back and clamps them tightly around the disoriented Squeeze. Picking him up with the pincer, he hurls him into Hiss's throne, putting him unconscious. He-Man charges a thunder punch and hurls it into the head of the struggling Tongue Lasher, then removes the power sword from the unconscious Tongue Thrasher. The heroes look towards the crypt. They both quietly make their way towards the staircase. Slowly descending, they observe a vast chamber lit with torches. The walls and pillars are covered in snake motifs. No sounds of anyone present, just the crackles of the torches. They look around and see many statues of people. All the statues share one trait. Every face is frightened. He-Man and Clamp-Champ begin a silent search for Ariadne. As they search, a shadow emerges on one of the walls, snakes flaying about the head of the shadow. He-Man reaches the far corner and sees a shackled princess with her head hanging in despair. He-Man quietly signals to Clamp, and Clamp catches up and sees her as well. The duo approach her and tell her to be quiet immediately, and she whispers, "Oh, thank goodness, He-Man." Her eyes still covered with tears. "Thank you, Clamp-Champ." He-Man responds, "Be silent, Your Highness. We'll have you back to safety soon." Clamp-Champ speaks, "He-Man, I hear something." The crypt door slams shut, and Ariadne whispers, "It's Snakeface. He plans to make me his own or turn me to stone, like he did this little girl and everyone in here." He-Man severs the shackles and she clings to him. He-Man speaks to Clamp-Champ. "Clamp, let your senses lead the way. Clamp listening cautiously as he leads the group. Clamp throws a fist back to signal stopping, and the trio split and hide behind two pillars, hence the cover.
Yeah.
Somewhere else. Now, this one I'm getting right now. This would be a panel that someone is observing all this going on somewhere else, not in the temple.
Okay.
Somewhere else, evil eyes observe through a hover screen and snaps their fingers. Suddenly, the crypt is magically filled with a variety of snakes. The heroes are unaware that it's becoming a living snake pit.
Yeah.
Clamp signals for them to move further down. He-Man escorts her swiftly behind the other pillars, and Clamp starts to hear a snake rattle. It gets closer and closer, and Clamp quietly thinks to himself, "Rattler made his way down here." He quickly snatches the culprit, and it's nothing but a nasty rattlesnake hissing. He throws it away swiftly and turns to look in He-Man's direction. It's too late to think. His vision is gone. His flesh is hardened. Snakeface completes the shock.
Oh, shit. All right.
Card art.
Yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting that, though. But
all right. Hey, if I surprised you,
yeah.
I think I'm doing my job here.
It's good that you work that in. It's like, you remember the vintage card art. Yeah. All right.
Snakeface whispers, "And now for you, He-Man." He-Man hiding and holding Ariadne tight. He feels her body shaking uncontrollably. He-Man clutches the power sword around her, and she whispers, "I'm so sorry, I can't stop shaking." He kisses her forehead to comfort her. Heavy sweat pours from his nerves, and he tries to think what to do. Above them, a large, nasty snake slithers down the pillar they're hiding from, its mouth exposing its fangs, and she looks up, and out of instinct, she screams, "He-Man." He-Man quickly moves her back behind him and grabs the snake, and it starts to fight back. He-Man sheathes his sword so he can use both hands to battle the snake. Saying nothing, he takes the head of the snake and slams it into the ground. Breathing heavy and quietly, he turns and sees Ariadne held captive with her mouth covered, Snakeface staring right at He-Man. A blinding blue flash emerges as the process completes itself. And Snakeface cackles, "The most powerful man in the universe." Ha! He turns her to him. "Now what shall your decision be, woman? An eternity with me or an eternity with them?" His tongue slithers out and strokes her cheek. On the back of the stone statue of He-Man, the power sword begins to glow. The stone spell begins to fade from He-Man's body. Suddenly, He-Man is flesh again, and he realizes it was the sword. And to himself, it was the power of Grayskull. The sorceress knew it. He-Man makes the most focused and stern face, staring down an unknowing Snakeface. Snakeface yells at her, "Answer me now!" And a voice speaks out behind Snakeface. "I believe the lady is spoken for." And Snakeface stops confused, and He-Man grabs him by the neck, slams his face first into the pillar, and Ariadne falls back to the wall. He-Man pressing Snakeface harder into the pillar. He then pulls his head back and slams it back into the pillar, cracking the stone. Snakeface stumbles, and He-Man grabs him in a headlock with his left hand. Snakeface grasps for breath, trying to break free, and He-Man slams his right fist into Snakeface's face repeatedly. Dazed, the snakes in his face begin to dangle out of fatigue, and He-Man grabs one of the metal torch holders and begins to wrap it tightly around the eyes of Snakeface. Dropping to his knees, struggling to remove the metal band, Ariadne grabs another torch. Running, she swings with her last breath, smacking Snakeface out cold. He-Man escorts her to Clamp Champ, and He-Man lays the blade on the statue, and the stone spell begins to fade. Clamp Champ emerges as flesh again. "Where is that repulsive thing?" And He-Man points to the ground, smiling. "I'm afraid Ariadne beat you to it." And Ariadne runs to the stone child, and He-Man, please free this little girl. And He-Man uses the sword and frees the child. She runs to Ariadne, holding her tight, and she comforts the girl. "We'll have you home soon, I promise." Clamp Champ looks around. "He-Man, what about all of them?" They look at all the other stone statues. Without hesitation, He-Man begins to free them all. Men, women, and children emerge with life again. Confused but happy, the once captives follow the heroes out to safety. He-Man and Clamp Champ carrying the unconscious Snake Man out. Didn't want you to think that they're just going to leave him into the temple here. As they make their way to the winding path, He-Man walks back to the temple. His fists light up with the power of Grayskull, and a mighty double thunder punch is unleashed on the foundation of the temple. It begins to crumble and crash. He-Man joins the group at the top, and Ariadne waits to embrace him again. "Thank you again. How did you even know where I was?" He-Man smiles. "Prince Adam called in a request." The whole request poetry thing at the early end.
Yeah.
Epilogue. The hover screen of Snake Mountain shows the temple crashing down, and a voice speaks out. "Well, Hiss, my dear ally, it seems your lost snake has lost face." King Hiss yells out, "Impossible!" And he rams his fist through the screen, storming out of the council chamber. The laughter echoes through Snake Mountain.
Fuck yeah, dude. Love it. I was sitting there, I was like, obviously, of course, you see the cover, it's like, this is a mini comic. Obviously, this is more like novelist, turn it into like a Ladybird book. Or as you're doing it, I'm thinking, this seems like an episode of a cartoon to me. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck? I hope all of you listening at home take that and you're like, oh, wow. Like, holy shit. Yeah, because that's how I feel after. And it's every time we do this, it's really not blowing smoke. It's just, and I don't want to get on this tangent either, but you go through recent iterations of Master Universe and what they're doing story-wise, and you compare it to something like that, and you're like, what? How do you not prefer this over that? So wonderful.
Yeah, I don't want him to kill anybody, but he sure as hell is going to maim them, put them out of action.
Yeah, I like the part with the sword going through the tongue.
Yeah.
And then like punching them in the...
Yeah, knocking them the fuck out.
Yeah, while the sword's in the... Yeah, that's awesome.
And then just takes the sword out and we're going down to the basement, you know?
Yeah, that'll heal. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's his greatest asset. Take him out of action, he can't use it anymore. So
yeah. Wonderfully fucking done, dude.
Thank you. I'm pretty fucking proud of it.
You should be, as you should be, man. Like that. Once again, this needs to be something like, let's just put this in print, make little mini books out of this stuff.
I'd give anything to do that, man. If I could have these ready for Motu Fest, like hand them out to people at the table and stuff like that. Or,
I would. Yeah. It would be a tall task, but if you could have that written out like that, and then have Kevin have illustrations on each page or like every other page or something to kind of
a couple of panels to
that would be fucking cool.
Yeah. I'd have to have Kevin do it.
Well, of course. Yeah.
I'm thrilled you enjoyed it as much as you did.
Yeah,
I was pretty confident you were going to enjoy the hell out of it, but like
the way that you're describing shit and the way that you can visualize this entire story.
Having seen Clash of the Titans, like it's I'm homaging that. Like I ain't hiding from that, but
right. But it's not like a complete and total rip-off of it.
No, I'm like He-Man's not going to cut off Snakeface's head.
No,
but you're going to.
And I like the fact you didn't work in any gimmick of, oh, we're going to use the reflection that he's going to see himself.
No, and I didn't want to.
I'm
do
glad
that.
you
I
didn't
did not
do
want
that.
to go that route. I was like, man, that's in. They did that in NYP. They did it in the mini comic. You know, use the reflection. Like, I don't want to go that route.
Mhm.
Like I would much rather like be the heroes be the victims, and use brute force to take out evil in this. Like get Snakeface over, like he takes out He-Man, takes out Clamchamp. You know, turning a little scared little girl to stone.
Mhm.
You know, scaring the fuck out of her. Like,
Yeah. And then all the other people that have been down there and just
and I think those are people that have left over from Preternia.
Yeah.
People that Hero didn't know was down there when he sunk the temple.
Yeah,
because it's
otherwise he would have been able to bring him back. Yeah,
but he just sees like this is one of the last like remnants of their cult. Like, get it out of here, just sink it down to the earth, not knowing that all those people, all those farmers, peasants, children, whoever they were all sunk down in the earth.
Man, what a mind fuck that's got to be. It's like, what year is it now?
Yeah, they come out and you got all these people from back then. Could be merchants, it could be people who were friends of the Council of Elders, it could be anybody.
Yeah, everyone they know is dead.
yeah, and I deliberately did that, like, just to have that to talk about, that these people from Preternia come back to like what has happened to this planet, you know. And
that you could also maybe use some of those people to maybe reestablish a new council, just because they had been around during those previous times to provide more knowledge
and history of that, you know, of what was going on back then, like just how, you know, or like
if you wanted to go that route, you could swing it that way.
Yeah,
I'm sure at this point most of those people are like, no, I'm just gonna go live my life now.
Just like, you know, how can we make a living? You know, it's like, is there a dominant force? Well, they're not running the planet.
But it could also be a thing where they were in stone for so long, they could be like that Mel Gibson movie, Forever Young, where after a period of time, they start to just age rapidly.
Could go that route. Yeah.
There's a lot to play around with there.
Yeah.
Beautifully done, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I think it might be my best one that I've done.
I would agree.
I'm pretty proud of the Horde story that I did a while back, like doing like the whole like reintroducing. You know, and the hero storyline that I did, you know, like introducing him and getting him set up. But this, I don't know, I'm pretty proud about, you know, that. Like your reaction, like I'm gonna go when we're done. Like I'm like, man, I got such a rise out of Nathan throughout the story. Like I'm getting responses from as I'm talking. It's like saying the story, and you're like, oh wait, this is awesome. This is fucked up. Like, like that's. I'm doing my job.
I really like that aspect of, we're gonna swing it this way, and they're gonna turn this kid to stone to really show you just how shitty they.
Yeah, they're not meant to be taken lightly. They're not your throwaway, you know, villain of the week. No, these guys, like, they mean business. They don't care if it's. I briefly for a moment thought animals. You know, like
little kid's the way to go with that.
But I thought so too. I'm like, no, I need a child, like, you know, because I'm you know, what's like right, you're in a situation you're not familiar with as a child, and you're just scared out of your mind.
Well, especially when you had the dialogue with his saying like, "Oh, do you want to go back to your family? Oh, okay, well, you can go." Yeah, good shit, dude. Good shit.
Yeah, I could easily visualize him being polite in that moment, using that human facade.
Yeah, like,
you know, I appreciate bravery, and you may go home to your parents right now and tell them how brave you were.
Yeah,
and not so selling good. Like, you know, you're not getting out of here alive.
Yeah,
you know?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, leave us a comment down below and let us know what you thought of this story. But Tyler, let's go ahead, take a break, come back, hit some feedback that you have left for us over the past couple of uploads that we've had. We'll be back right after this.
Stay tuned.
From the people who brought you Halloween, more of the night he came home. Halloween 2.
There was nothing within him, neither conscience nor reason, that wasn't even remotely human.
Don't miss the all-new Halloween 2. More of the night he came home. Halloween 2, rated R. The horror continues. starts Friday at a theater near you.
It's Marvel Comics' Amazing Spider-Man like you've never seen him before in 4 action-packed video games. Spider-Man comes to the NES in Revenge of the Sinister Six. Dr. Octopus has assembled Electro, Mysterio, Hobgoblin, and more. Only you can disarm his evil plan to rule the world. For portable web-swinging action, it's Spider-Man 2 for Game Boy and Spider-Man for Game Gear. You'll need your spider sense when you take on supervillains Venom and Carnage. Get ready as Marvel Comics Dream Team bursts onto Super Nintendo in Spider-Man and the X-Men in Arcade's Revenge. It'll take all your mutant powers, Spidey's webs, Wolverine's adamantium claws, Cyclops' optic blasts, Storm's lightning, and Gambit's exploding cards to foil Arcade's diabolical plot. Marvel Comics Amazing Spider-Man on NES, Game Boy, Game Gear, and now Super Nintendo. If this is too much action for you, take it up with this guy.
On is 3, 2, 1.
Fasten your seatbelt
When you got a perfect wave, a perfect anything, you go for it. Nicky!
and get ready for the ride of your life.
Stay away from my sister. You know, you were the first smiling face I've seen in 3 weeks.
Leave gravity behind and get airborne. Rated PG. Starts Friday, September 17th.
And we're back. Tyler, I just want to say again, fantastic stuff.
Thank you very much.
He's jazzed because the time that we're recording this, because we started hanging out and chatting for a little bit. We started a little bit later too, because I've been doing a bunch of shit around the house today. He's wide awake, or at least a little bit more awake than what he normally is when we have a tendency to sleep. But yeah, just fantastic.
I was looking forward all week to sharing the story. Even before I had it completed, I was like, I can't wait to. I was like, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to. And I stayed up late last night, finished it where my eyes fucking hurt.
I remember because I was texting you. I was like, that seems a little past bedtime.
Yeah, I was writing
for Friday night. Well, it was all for the good because that was good stuff. But the feedback that we received, there's a couple of comments on some of our previous episodes, but I'll start off here with the premiere chat from our Tale of Two Cities and Slave City combo review amalgamation. I didn't really know how to title it, so I just said Tale of Two Cities Filmation episode review plus a Slave City mini comic review. But all these come from Oliver Belmont in the premiere chat. This is some of the stuff that really stuck out to me from there. Goes to say here, Nathan and Tyler, in the 80s, what vintage 80s toy line were you into before Motu? To me, I was 6 years old when I got Psyduck, the supreme of Power Lords. But when Master Universe toys came in 1982, I just wanted it. I did respond to this. I said, well, unfortunately, Tyler and I were born in 84. So
yeah,
most of this good stuff we didn't get our hands on when it was brand new. A few things, sure, but we were getting the clearance bin stuff. We were getting hand-me-down stuff from a good portion of these things. If there was something like G.I. Joe that was still continuing on, we were buying those, but also those waves of toys. A lot of the old G.I. Joe heads, they don't like those characters a lot either and hate Ninja Force and all that stuff. So unfortunately, there wasn't anything that we were into in the 80s before Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, that was the first toy line I got into was He-Man. And around the same time, Thundercat shows up and Silverhawks, Brave Star, and then Turtles. And G.I. Joe came in at 88 for me when I was 4. But it was He-Man. That's the toy line my family was getting me, my grandparents, aunts. That's toys I was getting for Christmas and birthdays, random gifts. It was He-Man toys. Going to Hills, Kmart. You know, it was all about He-Man. That's all. You know, that Thundercats. Even though I only had like 3 Thundercat figures my entire childhood, and they were all villains. There were no actual Thundercats, no Lion-O, no Panther, no Tigra.
That's
crazy. I don't know why, but that's just how it was.
Yeah. Oliver Belmont goes on to say, the best part I like about Power Lords, the villains had a menacing look, especially the evil henchmen. Grig Tog. Does Tyler have any 80s Power Lords toys?
I do not. I have none of those, and I know very little of that line. I've heard of it. I just don't know much of it, and that's something I definitely need to rectify, because I feel like there really aren't any dud 80s toy lines. I mean, yeah, some are more popular than others, but I look at all of them from Supernaturals to Black Star, Crystar, you know, they all look really cool. I mean, I still, you mean Nathan Champion, Dino Riders, and Bionic 6 and Brave Star, and you've got, you know, vast array of all these. Like Dungeons and Dragons looks awesome too. I never had any of those figures. Never watched the cartoon as a kid, but the Fortress of Fangs and all the figures look fucking awesome. The cartoon was awesome too. So,
well, just the whole thing about it too is such a wide variety of scales. And just all the sizing. And it's like you think about Inhumanoids as well.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah,
that's
like,
another one.
Yeah. So yeah,
it was
a good time. As the toy industry was doing very, very good.
It was, and to think for it, like, you know, Christmas time, birthdays, random gifts, the vast array of all the heavy hitters from He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and you have stuff like, you know, Thundercats are showing up, Mask, Supernaturals, Battle Beast, you know, all these companies from Galoob to Remco to Tonka. You got GoBots.
Mm-hmm.
All these kick-ass lines. Like, how the fuck do you pick one toy going to your local department store, let alone a Toys R Us or Worlds of Wonder? Oh, that's a brand, not a toy store. I think there's like Circus World. I think was a toy chain back in the 80s. I think. Of course, KB, and I'm pretty sure K&K was like an affiliate of KB Toys.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that's why I think it's why it was so hard for, even though He-Man, I had more He-Man toys, I felt like, in the 80s than any of the toy line. But it was so hard to, like, how do you, all these toys available how do you decide, like, okay, you got $5, you know, do you go with what you can afford, or can I have just a little bit more and get a deluxe figure, like Visionaries? That was a G.I. Joe size figure, but it was a deluxe figure because of the holograms. You're going to pay like $6-7 for a Visionary.
Yeah.
Back then. That's another kick-ass toy I wanted to have. I never had a single one of those, but I was aware of them. I saw them. You know, loved holograms as a kid.
Yeah, I did too. There was,
especially an action figure.
Yeah, they'd be on
with the lenticular, or like, you know, it's not lenticular. Excuse me. The hologram were like the line like bursting out of their chest. Like, I think. Fuck, I'm not even butchering.
It's a fun gimmick. Bring that shit back. Bring that
and they
shit
got
back.
The staff, like, you know, with like the hologram on their staffs that they come with too, and that kick-ass theme song.
Let's make toys fun again, man. What happened to the world?
Like all these great concepts, but you know what? Kids today don't play with action figures. It's just guys our age and older and a little bit younger who are.
And we're not playing with them, most of us anyway.
We want to collect them and look at them.
We want to put them on display and just admire them. Oliver Belmont going on
as a kid.
Going on to say, at least the best part about the 80s toys had excess toy commercials that made young boys and girls go to toy stores and made their parents buy such different 80s toy lines, as we just talked about.
That was another big seller. Like, to see any toy commercials, like I want, even if it was a board game, like, I want that board game, I want that action figure. You know, it didn't matter what it was. If it was a boy's toy, from Super Soakers to Ninja Turtles to G.I. Joe commercials that were being advertised at the time, to board games like Dizzy Dinosaur, Mousetrap.
I haven't thought about Dizzy Dinosaur and
turns and spins till someone wins. Yeah, you know, just
God.
Or here's one for you: Crossfire.
Yeah, you got the Crossfire.
You know, yeah. Like, just thinking, like, when I played that game, like, this is nothing like the commercial.
I like Crossfire, though.
It was a fun game, but I guess I just thought it was gonna be more intense.
Well, you thought you were gonna be in fucking.
I'm gonna be in this fire arena. It's gonna be all these people cheering me on. And I'm like, you know, I don't know. I just, you know,
you're just playing it against your brother, and then your brother pulls a knife out on you. You're like, yeah, this is like the commercial.
Yeah, that's right. My brother needs to win all the time.
Oh, do you have to do that shit?
He was very, like, he wanted to be able to beat me at anything and everything, and it may have just been that, you know, the younger brother syndrome of, like, I need to know I'm better than you.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. Like, we play video games and we play honestly, and I would beat him. He'd get pissed off at playing Mortal Kombat or King Griffey Jr. Baseball. And I'm like, we're just playing the game, and I'm not trying to make him mad, but I'm like doing special moves, or like I'm just getting struck out, and he'd go downstairs and tell Mom, he's not letting me win. And she's like, what do you want me to do? You guys are playing video games. Like, she's not telling Tyler, let your brother win. Like, it was never like that.
I'm glad I don't have siblings.
Yeah, but when he would beat me, he's like, yeah, I was like, Derek, you cheated. So yes, you beat me because you cheated.
Yeah, he had to be the Undertaker with all the specials.
Oh yeah, and there was one time he did beat me clean, fair and square, and he held on to that victory.
Of course he did. These are the couple of older comments I was talking about.
Okay.
This comes from Lofty 1979. This is a comment on the UK comic issue 35 that I had with James, saying, I remember seeing Attorney at Toys R Us at the Gateshead Metro Center store. There was also, I think he had another comment in there that was something to the effect of winning the flag in a competition. I was like, gosh, that's a hell of a prize.
We're talking about the jackpot of a lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's awesome that some people, maybe Lofty was a Gateshead Metro Center store. Maybe this is pertaining more to when James is talking about not really seeing the Attorney at playset over in the UK as often.
I never saw it in stores. Not one time.
Yeah. So thanks for leaving that comment on an older episode. Always appreciate seeing that. And then here is one from Drawing by Hand, the Filmation episode review, Prince Adam No More. Another great episode. He gives it 10. It says the animation of Beastman eating the chicken is very well done. King Randor, when Prince Adam mentioned at the end that he can give a good right hook, King Randor never put 2 and 2 together.
I think he started to. He's like, no, it couldn't be.
And then these next couple comments come from our spinner rack of Daredevil 180, Brian Clifton. Though mostly a DC guy, I've always enjoyed Daredevil, especially the Miller stuff. Great issue choice. As always, I enjoy the spinner rack.
Thank you, Brian, for constantly supporting the spinner rack. I know it's not our most popular segment that we do, but we like to do it. And, we probably should work in another DC issue from time, because we know that's your forte and you're a big supporter too. But man, we love our Marvel. We just love our Marvel.
Well, stay tuned.
Nathan is
Stay tuned to that, because Brian Clifton also left another comment that I jumped at the chance to. I'm gonna read some of this stuff, and I have some thoughts. Casey Duncan on the Spinner Rack episode saying, "Let's go."
Yeah, I just love his constant support.
And then the rest of these come from the Filmation episode Tell Two Cities and Slave City mini comic review. Gary Buchanan, can't believe you guys are coming to Cincy for the fest. I'm Beyond Geek, fellas. So.
Well, I'm going to assume, Gary, we'll see you there, and you got to come by the table and just say NPC forever.
There you go. That's all you have to say. We're like, yeah, that's Gary Buchanan. But hey, if you also want to come see us, come out to Cincinnati September 12th and 13th. We will be there at Motu Fest. Details in the description at thepowercon.com. Go click on that down below. Get yourself a ticket. Come see us.
We'll have long, in-depth conversations about He-Man or 80s toys, cartoons, 80s movies. All you want, man. We don't charge anything. Just come over and have a good time with us.
Yeah, and we'll have some stuff at the table that we will be charging for. Some goodies, some prints, some random knickknacks. I think Tyler and I will probably bring some stuff from our collections that we no longer want in our collections. And if you want that, we'll have it at a good price.
Yeah, so, we're not going to be the modern day Nazi as scalpers are.
Yeah, no, it was like when I took some of that stuff when we went to PowerCon 3 years ago. Like within 2
Nathan
hours,
was done.
I sold everything. I was like, because I priced it to a point where people,
they couldn't pass it up. It was
I'm like, just get it out of here. I don't need it. I don't need it. Oh, how much is this going for on eBay? It's like, no, I just want a little bit of recoup from it. That's all.
Yeah, and that's pretty much us selling stuff is to pretty much recoup, paying for the room and gas. And it's not about like, I'm gonna go there and fuck you guys over. Yeah. I'm going to compete with the vendors. Like, no, it's just to make a little extra cash to pay for the room, and that's it.
So Gary, looking forward to seeing you there.
Absolutely, bud.
Brian Clifton, unrelated. I recently read for the first time from DC, The Warlord by Mike Grell, the original series. After completely enjoying it, I thought you guys would love it. It's very Conan mixed with Masters. Beautiful art, great stories, beautiful women, and great warriors. It really impressed me. I saw this comment and I'm like, I keep telling Brian I'm gonna start reading some of this shit, and I did. I read the Warlord books that are on the DC Infinite app, though there are only 22. It goes 1 to 22, and then they have it's like
sporadic issues. Like
it's like issue 114 and 122. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna read those just yet. So read those first 22 issues, loved it. I'm gonna say Conan mixed with Masters, sort of. But I looked at Warlord, and I don't mean this in a bad way at all. It was very just kind of plain. I look at it as like it's a really great cheeseburger. You could probably throw some more shit on it, right, and make it better. But just having a plain cheeseburger is always a good thing. So Mike Grell's art is phenomenal in this. I love how each issue starts with kind of one page setting up a story, and then you get a beautiful splash page that gives you the title of the book. And I liked it and enjoyed it so much so that I bought the omnibus that came out late last year that contains the first 50 issues because I want to continue reading it. And that will be here tomorrow. So I look forward to getting that and jumping back in. But I like the fact that he's thrust into this world within the world and there's dinosaurs, but with his at his time almost present day, like Earth vernacular and everything. It makes sense to have him here, and he can say these things, do these things. He's got a gun with him because that's what was on his plane when he crashed. So having that, putting those as stories, I totally buy into this. So much so, if they really wanted to, they could make it into a television series.
Oh, of course.
There's an exact point where I'm thinking the end of season 1, you stop, and if you're adapting strictly from these comic books, there's a moment right here. It's like, make that your cliffhanger for season 1, lead it into season 2, and continue going. They really wanted to do it, they could, because it's fun. So I bought that omnibus. There's a DC Direct figure that came out ages ago. I bought that, and then I picked up because in 1992 they did a 6-series run that Mike wrote. He didn't do any of the art in it. I was curious what that's like because it's not on the app. So I got that on the way from eBay. So thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad that you're always out here tossing out stuff at requests and stuff, because I actually asked him too, what else do you recommend? Which I don't have it up here on the screen to show all of you, but let me find. Yes. So I said, well, what else would you request, or what else do you champion? What else do you recommend? That's what I meant to say instead of request. Said Jeff Johns, JSA, James Robinson, Starman, Matt Wagner's Sandman Mystery Theater, Danny O'Neill's The Question, which I read the first 5 issues of that last night, and I'm enjoying that, so I'm going to continue reading that as well, Brian. John Ostrander's The Spectre, Jack Kirby's Mr. Miracle, and Justice League Dark are some of my favorite titles that are not Green Lantern. So I'm gonna start burning through Brian's recommendations. I even asked Tyler also earlier this week.
He burned through most of those.
Yeah, and I think pretty much all the stuff you recommended was Batman related stories, correct? I think.
Because I think it's what I'd read the most. Because you'd already dabbled in Swamp Thing, so I didn't need to recommend those.
Yeah,
but a lot because that's what I've read the most of. I've dabbled a little bit of Flash, some Superman, but I just feel like the most like memorable stuff I know were Batman. Like I knew you would really dig most of that stuff. Yeah, and all of those were fantastic. The only one I didn't get to yet was that Brave and the Bold issue with the Joker, which I read both the Bane books too. Yeah, I read both those. Oh, shit, did you enjoy those? Oh, fantastic stuff. I was sitting there, I was like, man, Nolan, you really dropped the ball on that one. Did he? Yeah, you motherfucker. I hope your Odyssey bombs, well, almost as bad as what's currently out right now. I still wouldn't mind. I don't think I'll go to the theaters. I have no desire to see it. No. I'll probably watch it just out. You know me. I'll watch it. Yeah. I'll watch anything.
Casey Duncan, terrific episode. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
buddy.
guys. Thank you, as always, Casey, for being there. And then, yeah, all right. A little short-winded on that one, but that's what we had.
But all
so
much
far.
appreciated feedback, though.
Yeah, and I'm gonna read more of DC stuff because I've always my knowledge of the question just always stemmed from what I saw in the Justice League and the cartoon, and I love his portrayal in that. And it's obviously vastly different here because I think the one portraying question in that might be the different. That might be. I got a lot more research I got to do. Point being, going to read more question because I those first. I think I read the first 4. I think my next issue is issue 5, and those first 4 were a lot of fun. I love the banter and the characters that were in it so far. And I think after these first 4 issues, I think going forward, it's going to change a little bit more. It's going to be more focused on like just singular issues because you and I talk about this all the time with DC stuff. It's very, you got to read everything. There's not as many like one-off issues. Much like Warlord. That is all very connected all through the 22 that I read, but vastly enjoyed. I spent money on an omnibus just so I could read more of it because you put the rest on the fucking app. I don't understand. How do you release an omnibus that collects up to issue 50? You're going to have volume 2 coming out in November that's going to extend to like 100 or whatever. And yet you're not going to have just that first 50 even on the app too. Like you've already put something out there. That makes no sense to me. I don't know why they do that.
And Marvel's the same way. They put scraps of they'll put like maybe the first 5, 10, maybe 20 titles or issues of a certain title. And then it's just 45, 85, 94. 102.
They started doing better with 90s Ghost Rider. They started adding more of the issues to fill that up.
Is there more consistency or there's still large gaps though?
I think the last time that when I read through them before, it was only up to like issue 20 something. I think
like straight like 1 to 20, or was it like there's jumps?
No, it was like 1 to 20, and then it started to jump. And I think now we can check this real fast. It's saying as of now there are 43 issues up, so now it goes from issue. I can tell you exactly where I stopped. Oh, it only had up to issue 20, and then it started jumping around. So now they filled the gaps. So we got all the way through 30 and all the way to 40. After 40, it jumps from 40 to 44. And then 44, 45, and then it jumps to 93. And like,
how do you decide? Like, oh, we'll put up this issue this far into the.
I don't know, unless I haven't clicked on it, but unless maybe somehow it's like a key issue or something, and they think more people will gravitate because this is the first appearance.
Well, I look at some of those issues and some of those runs, like some of the like the 90s, like Punisher and Wolverine, and I mean, of course, they have all the Wolverine up, but like Punisher, there's some chunks missing. Ghost Rider, there's chunks missing. Hell, even like certain Spider-Man books, like Web of Spider-Man, like there's certain issues of that missing. There's chunks of that. If you really like Spectacular Spider-Man, I think you don't have all those up. Like
it's so weird.
It's just like not every book is great. I think it's been established. Not every book and every title is going to be a winner, but some people want continuity. They want to be able to read the shitty issue and then you pick up with a better issue after that, or 3 or 4 shitty issues before things get going again. Like, why do you decide? Who's deciding like we're going to skip 23 issues and just move on up? Like, how do you justify that?
Well, just the fact too that like Conan's not on there.
That's something that really bothers me too. And I know it's a rights thing. But still, like,
figure it out. Put that shit on there.
They're putting out the Marvel Conan books and omnibuses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Savage Sword. Why? Well, okay, and of course, I haven't bothered to look. If Marvel's putting it out, why the fuck is it not?
I know
on your service.
Yeah, it's because
I did find another website that has all the Conan books to read though.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
stay tuned. Stay tuned for another spin rack on
Yeah.
Conan.
So I'm gonna because I'm assuming our audience likes the Conan because He-Man kind of parallel.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I was like I want to read some Conan. I was like I'm gonna give it another college try. You're like I found one. They got every issue too.
And now
got
you're
pop-ups, but
and now your shit is littered with viruses.
yeah. But I'm still reading Conan.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
That's just what I was in the mood for the last few nights. I want to read Conan.
You gonna watch Wall Street?
I actually was watching that before we recorded.
Okay. How far did you get into it?
Tomorrow. I probably made it about an hour. I mean, where Charlie's like really doing like illegal stuff to get Gordon all kinds of inside information, like pretending to be a phony maintenance guy and breaking in. And I mean, it's like we're probably a little over an hour into the movie, and I haven't watched it in a while. Like I'm really enjoying the hell out of it. Like
yeah, I need to. Long overdue for
so much fun watching that. Watching it for the first time in economics class back in high school was when the first time I saw that.
That's certainly a choice to play in a school.
Well, yeah, because like Charlie's getting a blowjob from a hooker in the back of the car.
Was this this wasn't what's his face, was it?
It was Mr. Myers.
Oh, okay. Wait, which one was he?
He wasn't the one. Glasses, gray hair. He was cool as shit. You know, I liked him a lot.
He wasn't also the one that subjected me to watch Dante's Peak like a shitload of times.
No.
Who was that? I'm so bad with
that was Mr. Teacher. Fry.
Yeah, Mr. Yeah. God damn. Fucking Dante's Peak, man.
He was all about that fucking movie, man.
I probably watched Dante's Peak in high school at least 6 times.
Oh,
it's such a shitty fucking movie.
I mean that Armageddon, Volcano, what's the other knockoff or the other like end of the world movie with the meteor?
Deep Impact.
They all fucking suck. I saw that in theaters too.
I remember the ending to that. It's like, they just went up on a hill and watched
Elijah Wood and his wife or girlfriend or whatever.
Well, it's like they get like married at the end.
Yeah, something like that. And then family after the end of the world.
Yeah, because he takes like his baby sister or her baby sister or whatever, right? And it's like, well, now we have to go procreate or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, Frodo's gonna fuck and they're gonna, start like a new race of hobbits or some shit like that. Like, oh fuck this movie.
Hey, I like Elijah Wood.
No, I have no problem with Elijah Wood. I'm just saying, like, that movie sucked.
Yeah, it did.
All those, like, natural disaster movies, like... Ugh.
I will say, though, I do want to, and I think it's probably on YouTube, I do want to watch Armageddon with the drunk Ben Affleck commentary where he just shits all over it. I would watch that.
Even he knows it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, this was the commentary track that they recorded when it entered the Criterion Collection back in the day.
It's in the Criterion Collection? Armageddon?
Mm-hmm. Well, this was the DVD era of Criterion. It was a Michael Bay thing. That's why The Rock is in the Criterion Collection back then.
I thought it was Jerry Bruckheimer. Michael Bay...
Michael Bay direct.
He direct... it's Michael Bay. I don't keep up with what he does. Fuck him. I just remember hearing Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah. Michael Bay is Armageddon.
Ugh, no wonder I fucking hated it as much. God, I had to watch that 9th grade science class.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like after like they're selling like posters of Ben Affleck from the movie and fucking I think playing on the damn radio all the time.
Well, the funny thing is Affleck points out, he was like, it would have made more sense for the oil driller guys to train the astronauts how to oil drill instead of the oil drillers training to be astronauts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a stupid fucking movie.
Not to mention they go up there on the meter and they're just fucking goofing off.
Yeah,
and like we're talking about this thing's gonna destroy the fucking plane. And you guys are there, whoa, just.
And that shitty fucking Aerosmith song. Every time it comes on the radio, I have to change to another station. I'm like,
I wish I had a gun to shoot the speaker because if it's playing like in a grocery store or department store or something like that, I just want to obliterate the speakers coming out of.
Yeah,
fuck Aerosmith.
Yeah, all those natural disaster movies in the late 90s.
Yeah, and they were hyped up to be these big summer hits. Like I remember seeing the big ass band in the movie theater, Volcano, The Coast is Toast.
I mean, Volcano did moderately okay. It wasn't Armageddon.
I don't think there were bombs or anything like that. But
Huh.
I think what little I remember thinking when I saw the teaser poster, I thought that should be pretty epic. And then when it came out, I was just like, I don't want to see that. And then when I did see some of it, it was like, much like the old lady jumping in the boiling hot water. Like
it was so. Oh God.
And everyone in class, even the classmates, when they were all like, "What is she doing?"
Yeah, and also too the way she sells it's just so bad that you can't help but laugh. That scene, and then I've said this plenty of times, but that scene, and then the scene at the beginning when Pierce Brosnan's wife gets hit, like one of them goes through the roof of the truck, she gets hit in the head, and she's like doing this shit. It's just like the way that they show it, and like the noises and stuff. I'm like, this is it? I know it's not supposed to be funny, but it kind of is.
That's when you like Wayne's World, when she's like, "Look, I know it's a bit part, but we can do better than this, can't we?" You're like, and then you bring in a different actress, and it's like Meryl Streep to do the death scene.
Yeah, God.
I see. I could have only enjoyed watching that movie if I was in the same class with you and we're just making fun of it the entire time.
I reached a point where
or you just falling asleep.
I had to put my head down. I was like, I'm just gonna take a nap. I cannot sit here and watch this piece of shit again.
Well, see, because I think if I had done it in any of the classes I was in, the teacher would have come over and like, all right, you can go sit outside or something like that. Like you were in classes where your teachers didn't give a fuck.
But you're the one putting on the movie. Like, what did you expect people to do?
But they're thinking the kids are going to sit here and watch it. Because sometimes we had to watch these movies and you were given like a quiz or something about it afterwards. I remember specifically.
Mr. Fry is like, all right, here's a quiz on Dante's Peak after we're done watching it for the 5th fucking time.
God, yeah. I just one of those things like if they don't want you sleeping in class, even if you are watching the fucking movie. But I do remember in Spanish class, we had a substitute teacher. And we had to watch, which wouldn't say we had to. I was looking forward to this because I saw this video sitting out in the pod of I guess it was the history pod where Spanish class was at. And I'm thinking, oh my God, over there in this rack near Spanish class is Jaws the Revenge. Like, how is this? It was Jaws the Revenge in Spanish.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we had to watch it. And she says, I need everyone to at least write down 5 lines and translate. And I was like, I was done in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, because you already knew the
fucking movie. It was like, I'm done. I was just sitting here and enjoy Jaws Revenge in Spanish. I know what you're saying. It's fucking great. I loved it.
That's awesome. Why couldn't Miss Pfizer bring Jaws the Revenge in
French? Yeah. And Miss Hamlin, she wasn't there. It was like substitute teacher. We're gonna watch Jaws the Revenge. Like, fuck yeah! You're like, yeah, this is great. This is the best day in Spanish class ever. And this was like advanced Spanish class. It was like third year Spanish.
Do you recall any of it?
Not right off, no. The only reason I translated so quickly because I knew all the lines of dialogue from Jaws the Revenge.
Well, I'm saying like today, has any of it stuck with you at all, or?
I mean, certain words in Spanish. Like if I hear like zapatos' shoes and if I was gonna say like the way you say certain words like emphasize like male, female, or like plural, like vamos, we go. Well,
everyone knows vamos.
I'm like, it's just all spur of the moment here,
Quesarito, yeah.
Doritos. There's certain words at the moment. No, I'm drawing a complete blank. I took 3 years, and I did okay in Spanish.
Yeah,
I've never had a reason to use Spanish since then, but
yeah. Well,
Nathan certainly has never had a reason to use French.
No.
He's like, I think about French class. Nathan just like turns his book in. Yeah, we know I'm not going to pass this class.
I'm not going to pass it. It's too late for me. I'm just going to go over here and sleep now.
Yeah, and just knowing that Nathan had that was very brazen. I was like, no, I'm just going to go here and fail and just.
I had enough credit. I already had enough credits to graduate. It didn't matter.
Yeah, because I only took 3 semesters Spanish. I thought having an advanced diploma would go far for me, and a lot of fucking good that did for me.
That's all the shit that our parents instilled us. Go to
No,
college.
no, it wasn't my
No.
parents. Like, my parents didn't push me to go to college at all.
Well,
That was all me
all
thinking
right,
that's what
that's-
you were supposed to do.
The societal thing.
Yeah,
around that
yeah,
time.
because my
Go
mom
to
and dad didn't go to college, and they're like, we didn't go to college. Like, you wanted to go to college? Like, me and my brother both, we tried it, and we both quit.
Yeah,
We're both
Yeah.
college dropouts.
yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
Yeah, high fives all around.
yeah, fuck
Look-
college.
Yeah, look at us now, Tyler.
We're titans of industry.
Well, let's go ahead, man. Let's go and wrap this episode up. I hope everyone enjoyed it. As I said before, leave us a comment down below and let us know your thoughts on Tyler's original story. If you haven't done so already, make sure you like this episode, subscribe down below. Check out all the links in the description as well. If you want to come meet us at Motu Fest, thepowercon.com. Go check out Zero Geek TV, Terror Collinwood. Maybe soon I'll have a TeePublic link down there if you want to buy some t-shirts or some prints or something. We'll see in the future. But do all those things that I aforementioned. And until later, let the power return.
Where are you going? To the end of this fence? Okay.
Die,
Die, gas pumper.
gas pumper?
Yeah. Shit. Shinola. Know the difference.
Oh my
That may not
god.
be a direct quote, but the shit and Shinola is a direct quote from this movie.
Oh my god.
You mean I'm going to stay this color?
Mm.
It's time you knew you were not actually our own child. Like, you mean I'm going to stay this color?
The Jerk?
Yeah.
Yeah. I admittedly I've only watched The Jerk like once.
That's it? Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
God, it used to come on TBS back in the day in the 90s all the damn time.
Yeah, I remember the advertisements for it, but I was never
Oh
inclined
God,
to.
so
Yeah,
fucking good, man. That's a movie that would never be made today.
No, I was about to say that. It's like, no, this is definitely of its time
Yeah,
for sure.
but boy, what a fucking classic though, man.
I need to. Where's it streaming?
It's a
streaming?
Universal movie. Maybe it's on Peacock.
Oh, it is on Prime Video. Maybe I'll give that a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are quite a few. Admittedly, there are quite a few of those comedies from that era, around that time, late 70s, early mid 80s, that I haven't watched. Like, what was it? This past Christmas season, that was kind of like the first time in full I'd watched Trading Places.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. So, yeah, we'll see.
It's been over 20 years since I've seen that movie.
And also something that would not get made today. And,
No.
and if they did, they would have to change quite a few things.
It's
And
like,
this
you
is-
know what? Don't bother, because I feel like what made this movie so memorable was because they were pushing the envelope with the comedy. Like, it's risque.
It's
Yeah,
it's almost meant to offend.
Yeah,
To a
and
degree.
people don't
Yeah.
make offensive comedies today. Like,
No.
even with the best of intentions, like everyone's
And I-
just scared of like.
I
I'm not-
understand.
not-
I understand it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's I don't know. I think watching shit like that gave me kind of a greater appreciation of the grand scheme of everything, and I think it hardened me to not be offended by much of anything. But I can still look at shit and be like, yeah, that's wrong. That da 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 da. But like nothing
But
bothers.
it doesn't take me out to like watch the movie. I'm not going to watch this again. Like, this is offensive to a demographic of people. Like, no, it's just this is the humor of that time. Like,
Mhm.
they're not going out of the way to sit there and imply that they're racist or they're bigots or they're just
Yeah, it was-
mongers of any kind. It's just like,
there could have been some underlying bit to that, possibly, but it's
well, and I think some people will even say, you know, especially back then, where, you know,
looking back on it, they
Asian
reflect it.
actors they were not used prominently unless it was
Yep.
like blaxploitation. So, yeah, there was some truth to some of the stuff, you know, but I don't think everything was meant to like, hey, we're letting you know we don't like this particular
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I think it's like because you have a lot of actors of color or different ethnicities in these roles, and I mean, they're doing.
Yeah, you kind of getting it's weird territory.
But then again, too, you got people who are, I feel like a lot of times you just see like just white people getting angry about everything. Like, it's not your place to sit there and dictate.
Yep.
That you're making remarks of disparaging remarks about a certain, like, I'm sorry, and why do you have a problem with this? I mean, quit trying to dictate for everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah,
it
gets a little convoluted. Before we get too far into that, let's go ahead.
It's meant to be entertainment, nothing more. Stop taking this impersonal out there.
Yeah,
they wouldn't make Blazing Saddles today, of course. That's been established.
Yeah, but you can go back and watch some of that stuff and be like, yeah, this is for what they were intending. Some of it you could be like, oh, all right, and then some of it's also still very brilliant, very funny. It's a weird time. They need to. Instead of trying,
they don't do it anymore. They have learned the lessons from old Hollywood. Like, they're not going to have someone like Jerry Lewis impersonating an Asian person. Like, no, they learned that was done a long time ago.
But much like they do with Looney Tunes, put disclaimers up and make sure that people see, like, hey, this is of this era and of its time. It's insensitive. So you are.
But I will say, as a kid, like, when I watched any Looney Tunes, I never thought that they were doing stereotypes of anybody. When I was around Hispanic people, I didn't assume, you must sleep all the time, because that's what Speedy Gonzalez cartoons depict. Like, that was never even a thought in my head. You don't learn about stereotypes until you get older. I just see them as just, they're hanging out, and not even saying that they're sleepy or anything. None of that stuff register with me. It's almost like they're assuming kids are just going to buy into this stuff, and as soon as, like, no, you give kids a little bit more credit. Kids are taught racism. They're not embedded with it. They're not born with it.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I was actually about to say that.
Yeah, and that's how I I wasn't even aware if there's anything like that until I think I saw like Fried Green Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And seeing what was depicted in that movie, and I thought, oh my God, this is fucking horrible.
Yep.
And not really knowing, and then you start seeing people around you using select language, like, oh my God, you're just like the people in these movies.
Yep.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
They actually had an anniversary screening of Fried Green Tomatoes, like
one of the Fathom events. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
was tempted to go
to. It makes me cry. I don't.
Tyler doesn't like to cry.
Unless it's a happy cry, like Rocky 2 cry, I don't mind that. Fried Green Tomatoes, it's sad.
Yeah, but you don't like sad cries. Happy cries are fine. You just don't.
Edward Scissorhands, Fried Green Tomatoes, they're sad cries. Forrest Gump, sad cries. And Fried Green Tomatoes is a fucking masterpiece of a movie, a beautiful movie, but it's sad. But not in a way that tell you hot out. It's just the music makes it sad, and there's so many great characters in that movie. Even as a kid, I got sad watching that movie.
Yeah. I watched Fried Green Tomatoes. It was probably about a year ago. And I was like, God, this movie's exactly how I remember when my mom rented it and we watched it and absolutely fell in love with it.
Beat it, yo bitch. I just remember Matt and Jordan would quote that movie with me at work at Wade's, and we would just quote that woman's line like, "Screw you, fat cow." Just like saying lines like that to each other. Beat it, you old bitch was like the one that was used the most. Or like, you might upset Big George. Just saying stuff like that, because we were all fans of the movie.
Yeah.
And then I remember one time watching it, and I was dating some girl, and she'd fallen asleep, and I'm sitting laughing in bed at the scene about beat it, you old bitch. I'm laughing hard, and then I started feeling really bad for laughing. Because Kathy Bates' character is such a sweet character in the movie, and I'm like, it's not meant to be funny.
It's okay though. She turns it around.
Oh, she turns it around, but it only is laughing because of Matt and Jordan quoting the movie.
Yeah, the context of the film. It's very much.
It's like you and I can make fun of something in a drama that's meant to be taken very seriously, but you and I say it, and we say it as a joke.
Yeah.
And when you watch it next time, you're laughing at the most unintentional spot in the movie because we're just having fun with the line.
Yeah, just like Dante's Peak when she hops out of the skiff.
No one feels that's just fucking stupid. And a shitty movie.
All right, man, let's get out of here. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for your time. I had another brain fart. I was like, I started staring at a bird off camera.
I'd never done a crazy thing in my life before that night. Why is it? If a man kills another man in battle, it's called heroic. Yet if he kills a man in the heat of passion, it's called murder.
Hello! What do you think you're doing? Only me and Garth get to talk to the camera.